The Dallas Cowboys select. What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and you are now tuned into the Cowboys Fans Only channel. So everyone, do your boy a quick favor. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there, and be sure to turn on the notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content from this channel. I appreciate you guys. We have now reached 1,000 subscribers, so we can continue to climb, continue to build this channel. We got great guests coming on and also great content, so definitely want to stay in tune. But I got two great guests right now, man, and these two ladies, they're like the queens of Cowboys Twitter, right? They don't take much crap for anybody. They're like me. They're fire starters, man. They don't take no crap, man. They definitely know their stuff, so I had to bring them on the show. So CFO gang, let's give a warm welcome to my girls. We got Megan and also Camber. We got Megan. She's from the Cowboys and Chaos podcast, and we got Camber. She is from the Starboyz Podcast show on YouTube. Shout out to my guy, Zach. What's up, Daryl? So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on. What's going on?
Having us.
Yeah. So like I said, these girls definitely be bringing the heat on Twitter, so I had to bring them on. So there was a topic, and we're going to dive into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Richard Sherman. So Meg, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to give you the floor and let you talk about this, because you've been one of the most vocal persons on Twitter about bringing Richard Sherman in. So I want to get your take and your thoughts on why the Dallas Cowboys should bring Richard Sherman in for the 2021 season.
Before I get started on this, I'm well aware of what Richard Sherman has said about Jerry previously. I don't condone it. I don't think that that's going to help his case at all. However, if we're talking about him being on the team, I'm all for it. I feel like it's something we need. It's different. He has a loud mouth. He has an attitude. He has that fire. And I feel like his experience would be something that our defense is lacking. I feel like he's been in the league for a while. I'm not necessarily looking for him to be, an all-star save the day. But if we can get him at the right price and a younger cornerback safety, I feel like he would be such a good asset for us to have in the locker room, on the field. Yeah, I'm for it. It's controversial. I know that. I know a lot of people are against it, but I am all for it.
Yeah, even though it's a very controversial topic, I like the point that you do not back down from it. It's your stance, and I really respect people who they speak their opinion, they stand on their principles. But I know Camber kind of had a different perspective when it comes to bringing in Richard Sherman. So Camber, what is your thoughts based on what Meg said about bringing in Richard Sherman?
So here's the thing. I'm not going to ever deny that Richard Sherman, he's smart, he's elite. He's got that route diagnosis that he can do. Eyes are always on the quarterback. But, okay, first of all, he's declined. He lost the step. I think he lost the step his last 1 or 2 years he was still at Seattle. His injuries are a huge concern to me. He had the bone spur. I think that was in 18. He tore his Achilles in 17. In 20, he missed 12 weeks from a calf injury. And it's not any kind of, the rumors out there. He's looking for $8 million plus. I do not want to drop $8 million plus on a player that we may not get an entire season. To go back to that fire that she's talking about bringing, that was part of the division that happened in the Seahawks locker room with Russell Wilson. He has no qualms in screaming at the quarterback, other coaches, other players. And I'm not quite sure that's something that we need. And I just, we can go back, we can get into the first 3 to 4 rounds and we can get corners that are younger, cheaper, healthier. And I just don't see the need to have someone like that taking up a roster spot and taking up cap space.
Yeah. Meg, you want to?
Yeah, but my thing is, like, we can totally get someone younger, faster, stronger. We can get both. And like, I know this is kind of a pipe dream. I know Richard Sherman kind of tends to like the higher dollar amount. I know that, but I feel like at this point in his career, he's aware of his age. He's aware of what he's going against as far as the younger players and their abilities. And he's prone to injuries. I do agree with that. But I feel like if we could somehow pull off a younger player and agree with him on a 1 to 2 year cheaper contract, I feel like that is perfect. Like, that's ideal for me. That's what I feel like we need. I feel like we need someone with the experience in the league, even if, yes, he's been injured and not played the whole entire time, he's been in the league for a long time. And I feel like that even, the new guys coming in, even having someone like that would be beneficial. As far as the locker room, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, he might have bumped heads with people in the Seahawks, but that's not going to be a case in every team. You can't predict how a player is going to mesh with all the other players. Right. I feel like Dak has a really good way of handling adversity, even with players that he might necessarily not get along with or agree with, because although we've never heard of any conflict with him, like, you can't say that he's absolutely loved and got along with every single player we've ever had.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like his mentality, his mental strength to just kind of keep a cool head, that would help if there were to be an issue in the locker room, like you were saying you'd be afraid of.
Right. So, Camber, let me ask you this. So you mentioned the injuries. You mentioned that Sherman is pretty much on the decline of his career. We have Dan Quinn in-house. Do you think that will be enough for him to kind of just want to go with the flow in Dallas, or do you still think he's going to be the same outspoken Sherm, speak on his mind, and kind of be a loose cannon in Dallas?
He's been one his entire career. Dan Quinn's not going to make the difference. He hasn't played with Dan Quinn for 7 years.
Right.
So, and a lot has happened, and you've got 2 players that are coming in that have played with Quinn already. So you already have that presence and that connection with 2 players, with Kazee and with Neal already, which I'm already got a concern with their injuries, and coming in, that we're already playing this game, that we've taken 2 injured, Dan Quinn, Joe Witt players, and we're bringing them in.
Right.
So I'm not seeing it. When you're talking about his decline and what he could bring to the team, first of all, him taking a discount, he's going to take a discount to chase a ring, not to come here where we're an unproven defense and everybody's talking about how bad we are. If he's in that last year or 2 of his contract or of his career, he's going to go somewhere like Kansas City, someone who's going to give him a shot. My only thought is that he is declining so much that is moving him to safety, something that should be considered. But as of right now, I don't see the value of taking up that cap space. I'm not here for him to mentor our younger players. That's Joe Witt's job. We hired Joe Witt. He's the one that's going to be there. That's the guy that needs to be taking care of these younger players and guiding them. Yeah,
you guys both made great points. And I feel like I'm torn with this situation. I know at first when I spoke to Meg about this on Twitter, I was like, I'm out on Richard Sherman. I don't want him. I was kind of leaning towards you, Camber. But we are at the point where the Dallas Cowboys sit on their hands for the entire free agency, and we need to get a veteran corner some way, somehow. Some names that I have listed is Richard Sherman, Casey Hayward, Steven Nelson, Brian Poole, Rashad Breeland out of Kansas City, and then I'm the next best candidate, right? And so I feel like if the Cowboys are getting backed into a corner where if they're going to bring in a veteran cornerback, they're going to have to move quickly because by the time the draft is over, these guys will be snatched. Now, I know Richard Sherman said he was going to wait till post-draft before he makes a decision, but I agree, Camber. He's not going to come in at this discounted price because we saw what A.J. Boulier said, and also Malcolm Butler. They wanted to sign with Dallas, and then Stephen Jones said, we ain't got no money. And so it's like you can't play that game with Richard Sherman. He's too prideful for that to ever happen.
He's his own agent too.
Right.
He's his own agent.
Yeah, he's very sharp, Stanford grad, own agent. Yeah. He's not going to get lowballed. And I feel like this is the same situation that happened with KJ Wright. So do I think that Richard Sherman would be a Dallas Cowboy hire? I would say no. But would I welcome it? I would say yes. So I guess I'm in between. I guess, I'm right between you guys right now. But I think you both made great points. But like I said, we are going into this draft where we're going to really have to take a corner because we have nobody in-house besides Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, and Trayvon Diggs for the most part. So if we're going to really try to solidify the secondary, we're running out of options. Like I said on Twitter today, right? We're doing Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve right now when it comes to addressing the secondary, and everything is bare, right? There's nothing on the market, so we have to move quick. So I see both great sides of that. But I would say I would bring in Richard Sherman, and I would tell Richard Sherman, call your old buddy, too, that played free safety in Seattle and see what he's up to as well. So if we're going to bring in both of these guys, let's just get them both and let's see things happen and let them be a bridge for our younger players. But I want to talk about something you mentioned about the Dallas Cowboys in free agency. So I'll start with you, Meg. How would you grade the Dallas Cowboys thus far in free agency?
Oh, my God. I feel like I'm bored with it. I give him a D. I don't know what is going. I don't know. I know it's probably a Stephen Jones versus Jerry Jones thing. I know that it's, money is always the issue when it comes to Stephen, but I'm not been impressed with much of anything, to be honest. I mean, unless we're talking about the Dak contract, which is technically still free agency.
Right.
That's the best thing that I'm really not impressed with it at all.
Yeah. Camber,
I don't know if they're just waiting till after the draft or, I don't know.
Camber, your thoughts on the Cowboys free agency? What would you give them as a grade?
Well, if we're going to make the point of, Dak technically was a free agency, then we're going to have to get a bit higher of a grade. The Urban signing was pretty decent. I hope that he turns out. Kazee and Neal both scare me. That torn Achilles, that's like an entire year. Right. And I think he tore that in October. So I'm really nervous about that. I understand. I mean, they must have been players that both Witt and Quinn really felt we're going to do something here. And we're notorious of waiting till after draft to pick up other players. I'm going to give us a C at this point. But, let's be honest. We're not free agency players. Never have been.
Right. And do you guys think that maybe last year, because we kind of dipped our toe in it last year, we're bringing in, Gerald McCoy, Don Terry Poe, Everson Griffin, Clinton Diggs, Darryl Worley, and it kind of backfired on us. So do you think that's impacting Dallas Cowboys with their situation as far as moving forward in free agency this year?
Mm-hmm. I do. I think it's probably making them second guess a little bit. I think it's making them a little bit more hesitant towards going ahead and writing that check or, jumping the gun on anything. But at the same time, I feel like that makes me nervous because I don't want to miss out on a player.
Right.
Or miss out on something, you know what I mean? Because we're being too precautious. I feel like for some reason, why we either go from making like irrational decisions to like holding off too late. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I feel like we aren't as active as I would like us to be as far as free agency.
I don't think it had anything to do with them being afraid or not. I think honestly, it had to do with cap space, what they knew they had to sign, what they've got coming up. The market itself, it got flooded this year with free agents. And they totally thought that they were going to get bigger and bigger discounts because of the free agency. But then I think some of the players came in and they started asking for that 2-year deal because when that TV deal hits next year, we're going to have it's going to raise and they're going to have some extra capital. Even the teams, look at the teams, the Colts, Jags, there's some teams out there that have still got a bucket full of money.
Right.
And I don't see them dipping hard and paying some big numbers either. I think people are wanting that money to roll over and they're It's just a low market season.
Yeah, no, I'm saying originally I had us at a C, but I think as time kind of progressed, I'm moving towards Meg with the D because I felt like this was right up the Cowboys' alley because a lot of these quality players, you see them across the NFL, were signing one-year deals. You look at Patrick Peterson, you just look across the board, Harrison Smith. So we were probably able to go in and get these guys for a very low market value. But for some reason, Dallas Cowboys set on their hand. You look at Jerron Reed going to Kansas City. We thought we were going to have KJ Wright in house, and that whole ordeal blew up. So I felt like there was bargain opportunities, and then still the Dallas Cowboys didn't move forward. So it really puts our defense in a bind. So we'll see, man. Hopefully they got a trick up their sleeve. I just don't see it. I've been going through the unsigned free agents out there. It's like we don't have much. So we're really going to be dependent on this NFL draft, which I want to quickly talk about. So Meg, I want to start off for you. What is your thoughts and what do you think the Dallas Cowboys should do with the number 10 pick in the NFL draft?
I think that if Pitts is there, we should take him. I don't think that we should go out of our way necessarily. I don't like the idea of trading back for him. If he's there, awesome. If he's not, it wasn't meant to be. We don't necessarily need him. Would he be awesome to have? Absolutely. It'd be like another CD situation. Like if he's there, let's take him. If not, let's focus on the best player available.
Okay.
Obviously towards defense, I'm leaning. I just don't want us to pick a linebacker at 10.
Right.
That's all. I don't want that.
They came after me today on Twitter for mentioning Micah Parsons, but it was a conversation that needed to be had. So
yeah.
So, Camber, what is your thoughts on how the Cowboys should move at this 10 spot?
Well, it's no surprise that I'm team BPA. Okay. I'm going to take BPA. I'm going to have a hard time if Pitts is there that we don't take him.
Right.
My next move would be, then they're going to have to make the decision between Surtain and one of the offensive linemen. I think Sewell's gone. Okay. I think there might be a choice that we take Slater. I think it comes down to between Surtain and Slater. I'm 90% sure that we're taking Surtain.
Okay.
If they do trade back, the only reason I would want them to trade back is if they're going to go after JOK or Newsome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vera Tucker's high on my board too. So it wouldn't be the worst thing, but I'm still, JOK is the only linebacker I want to be talked about.
Yeah. I mean, personally, for me, you guys know I'm on the pitch train all aboard, man. Shouts out to, my Star Gang family, man. We're almost there. We're almost there, man. Shouts out to everyone on the pitch train. But if Pitts isn't available, I'm thinking that Slater would be an option that, you could plug in at the left guard position and maybe get Connor Williams up out of there finally. Fingers crossed. Right. And then also, I think if we're going to go defensively, I think it will be cornerback because I feel like with the linebackers, there's a possibility that there's some of these guys could slide, whether it's a Nick Bolton, Zaven Collins, maybe a Jamin Davis. So there's other guys that you can possibly get in that second round. I don't think the Cowboys will reach at 10 for a linebacker, but I'm personally, I'm fully out on team trade back. I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me because if you're going to trade back behind your division rivals in Philly and also the Giants to get more picks when you already got 10 picks, I just don't see the sense in that. The only way it can really make sense is if a Justin Fields was to slide at 10 and we're going to get the King's ransom from one of these teams wanting to trade up and give us their first round pick for the next 2 years or something crazy like that. But for the most part, to get a second this year, or extra second this year, or maybe a second next year, it's just not worth it. I feel like the Cowboys, we haven't been aggressive when it comes to free agency. Let's just be aggressive in draft, get who we need to get, because like we said, we have holes to fill, and we can't get too cute. And typically when the Cowboys try to get too cute, that's when things go astray. So it's like, you know what? Just go get the guys you want. Now, me personally, Meg, I would move up for 4 to go get Pitts. But
I know you would.
But would you move up to 7 or 8 possibly to go get Kyle Pitts? So let's say, for instance, we have Detroit on the line. We can swap their 8th pick with our 10th pick, and they can take, let's say, our 3rd round 99 for this year. Would you do that?
Probably.
All right. There we go. Probably. There we go. Camber, how about you?
Absolutely. All absolutely. Because I'm going to grab one of those corners in the second. I'm going to, at 75, I'm going to grab one of those safeties and we're going to play.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people aren't understanding. There's a lot of great quality corners you can get in the second round. It's no knock to Patrick Surtain or my guy, J.C. Horn. But you can go get a Greg Newsome or Asante Samuel Jr. or Tyson Campbell or Eric Stokes in the later rounds. I feel like you don't have to reach. Go get what you need and just move on, and then we can kind of have the draft like we did last year. BPA, fill needs, and then we can move forward, man. But I appreciate you guys for coming. Like I said, yeah, they were going back and forth on Twitter, and I said, let's settle this. So it was hard because I couldn't decide a winner. You both made great points. So like I said, I would welcome Richard Sherman in because sometimes you ain't got no other options. So you just got to do what you got to do. So, but before we go, Meg, tell everybody where they can find you and hear all your stuff.
Yeah, so you can find my podcast with Kelly K9 at Cowboys and Chaos, or my personal Twitter at the4EsMC.
Boom. And Camber, where can they find you?
Well, you guys can find me hanging out with Zach and Daryl at the Starboyz Podcast on YouTube, and also on Twitter at TOO_MuchCamber.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming on. Like I said, shouts out to my guy Zach. I saw you cut the sleeves off on the Zeke hoodie, man. I might have going the Belichick look, man. So I might have to send you a new one, man. And shouts out to Daryl too. My guy Daryl, he's gonna have to come on because we got some things to talk about. Because he was anti-signing Dak, and he's not on the pitch train. He's just having a rough time right now, man. So I gotta talk to my guy Daryl, man. We're gonna have to bring him on and settle a few things, man. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Of course, you guys can find me on Twitter at JTuck151, and also comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel Cowboys Fans Only, and then also you can catch me on the Star Gang podcast show on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. with Spoonie, BJ Nix, and Mariella. We are doing a live draft party on draft night. All 7 rounds. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna do giveaways, gifts, breaking down these players, having fun, hopefully celebrating our new addition to this Cowboys roster. So you guys definitely want to tune into that. Don't miss it. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning on. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. And Richard Sherman of Dallas, no.
I'm done with Seahawk hand-me-down. I don't want
no more hand-me-downs, right? We did that hand-me-downs, man. So no, Camper's out on Richard Sherman, so it's just Meg, right? It's just Meg, man. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace out.